3, 2, 1.
Shalom Chavadim, hello friends, welcome to lesson 30 of Learn Biblical Hebrew. This is the third in a series of 3 lessons that have looked at Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, 4, and now lesson 30, verse 5. Genesis chapter 1, verse 5. Vayikra Elohim la'or yom ולחושך קרא לילה, ויהי ערב, ויהי בוקר, יום אחד. Letter by letter translation here, and word by word translation here. And calls God to light day, and to dark he called night, and is evening, erev, and is morning, day 1. So day 1 is how Hebrew says the first day. Hebrew doesn't change the words like we have 2, 1, first, 2, second, 3, third. Hebrew doesn't change the words like that, so it just says day 1. Well, sometimes we say day 1, but it corresponds to what we'd normally say, the first day. We met Echad in Deuteronomy 6:4, where it says, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. That was lesson 8. And we met Yom in Psalm 118 verse 24. This is the day that the Lord has made. That was lesson 12. Now certainly this is a 24-hour day, because for one thing it has evening and morning. But some people conclude that therefore the Bible is teaching us that God created everything in 6 literal days, 6,000 years ago. Well, maybe so. Who can say dogmatically that it's not so? But we should note that this account is clearly nothing like a cold, modern scientific account of exactly what happened in precise detail. Instead, it seems that the creation account has been put into a particular literary structure, and it addresses not modern scientific interests, but ideas prevalent at the time, like the Babylonian notion that the sun was a god. So it's clearly this account is clearly not given to teach us technical details or to be measured against 21st century science. Karl Barth, the German theologian, said you can't harmonize scripture and science any more than you can harmonize an organ and a vacuum cleaner. But scripture certainly does teach us who's in charge, who God is, and what is his creation, and how he made it and brought order to it. So here's my attempt to translate it. Again, there are many different ways to translate it, all of them partly adequate and partly inadequate. And God called the light day and the darkness night. Evening came and morning came, the first day. But here's a great chance to put aside the English and just learn it in the Hebrew, in the original words that have stood in the Bible for all those thousands of years. A description written under inspiration by Moses, almost certainly describing the creation. And we note the majestic simplicity of the language that is used here to describe God's power and God's creation and how God brought everything about.